the Sabbath. So now we can't change the dates. Everybody bought pre-sale tickets, so we got to keep this moving. You know, I'm jokingly hypothesizing, but just saying, what else excuse could you have? None of it's good enough, you know. And it's, so if I can hit this, and I'll say it, the Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word, we said, washing the water by the word, right? Hebrews 4:12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing asunder of soul and spirit. So you're supposed to slice off all that wickedness out of you, all that leaven off of you, right? It says, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, right? And that's what we're going to, is what's in you that defiles. What you done created in your heart, in your mind, is what was defiled within your spirit. Okay, and the Bible will cut that, and so you got to change your mind on it and repent. That's how you repent. It's eternal.
That's beautiful you said that. One way to know that you've been cut is when you knew you did something awful, knowing what the word says about you.
Yep.
You feel fucked up about it.
Yep. You stop doing it.
You felt hurt that you did it, and you just like, I ain't doing that again, man. You know? But hey, that happened to purge that out of you. You know? That word just hacked and scraped that unclean demon from you.
And a lot of times, Jake will catch that moment.
Yeah.
In a situation where their life will flash before their eyes. They'll see like, man, I could have died right there. Or some crazy shit happened like, man, that's fucked up. Why am I going through this? And then the spirit be like, man, and you know, previously, you still ain't cleansed yourself or severed that from you, repented from that.
Yeah.
That was
it. Now we go back to Deuteronomy.
Back in Deuteronomy 4, this is 3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy power hath destroyed them from among you.
Yeah, that was the same Baal Peor that you know, Moses, you know, him, Eleazar, Phinehas, they started fucking up all them jakes that was worshiping Baal Peor. It's one of the ways that you have to commemorate that deity, was you have to, you know, become a freak. You know, you have to commit whoredom with these other nations, man. And the zeal became, you know, strong upon the house of Aaron, that a lot of Jacob got put to death. You know, they put so many of them to death. I believe it referred to it as a plague.
Yeah.
You know.
And Most High is always severing, trimming the fat, if you will.
Yep. It's just, hey, like, do your research. Look into these ancient deities and idols that Israel was serving, and then look into their practices. You know, what type of practices you had to perform to commemorate that idol or that deity.
It'd be Dagon or...
Just look into the vile shit that they did, and you'll see why the Lord would be pissed off with Jacob.
And you see those same very practices being carried on today, too.
To this day.
And normal, and they're commemorated in holidays.
In your face.
So look up Baal Peor. Somebody look it up. Just go into the history of Baal Peor. Yep.
They say the God worship in Moab by Israel at an instigation of Balaam while the Israelites were encamped in Shittim. All such worshipers were destroyed by the Most High out of Israel.
Yep.
The heinous nature of their sin is not so forgotten, as both the psalmist and the prophet recalled it later to Israel. He says he he was a local deity of Mount Peor, but presumably related to Mon or the name of
Oh, I got one right here too. About sexual immorality.
Well, this is what the Moabites worship. Right? Was there a little more information?
Oh, this one's good right now.
You found something?
Yeah, it's like in the history. It says in Numbers 25 we find that the woman of Midian began to seduce the men of Israel to sexual sin and to sacrifice to their gods.
Huh? It was the same thing that happened with King Solomon.
Yep.
He took all those wives of those other nations and they inclined them to serve their gods. And that defiled him.
It's not because he dealt with it, just like dealing with the women. Because it'll be Christians that'll try to bring on, well, this why you don't supposed to have one. It's not the fact that he did, that he was actually popular, man. It was the fact that it converted his mind from believing in Yahweh Shem Yahshai to worshiping other powers, man.
Exactly.
That was the point of it.
Huh. I mean, even though King David, he also filled by a woman, but it wasn't the same sin. He dealt with concubines. He had women of the other nations. That didn't take his heart from the Most High. He was still a man after the Most High. So the sin wasn't in him sleeping with a woman of another nation. All right. Just to make that clear. A lot of you jakes, man, y'all emotional when y'all read these laws, man.
Yeah.
And you desire to be teachers of the law and don't even understand what the hell you're talking about. If you're gonna teach the law, you gotta understand the law first. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I had a little. It says, since the gods of the pagans were often fertility gods, the worship often involved sexual acts.
Always. I mean, I don't know what deity among these heathen nations where the commemoration of their deity does not involve sexual activities.
Yep.
There's always some type of sexual perversion that has to be done.
That's why they use sex now.
I was just gonna say that.
This very day.
To get the power, yeah.
That's why they get into Hollywood. You got to do all type of sexual vile acts, man.
Yep.
You know? A woman got to get naked and get in a tub filled with semen and blood and shit. And all type of crazy shit, man. You know, you might have to go into a vacant room with a fucking mule or a wild beast tied up in there, and you got to do some sex acts with it.
You got the donkey show.
Yeah.
Hey, like in the movie Starry Eyes, his brother was crying. She was going to see the producer.
Yeah.
Like them black dudes that came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And then she blacked out. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, right. They just didn't want to show what happened. But she blacked out with the demons that changed that whole orgy and the situation that was going on there.
Yeah.
Some of these deities involve revelries, which we all know what revelry is. It means a lot of, partying. But we ain't talking about just no regular party where you just got some music playing and you just drink. We talking about them Diddy parties.
Yeah.
Them kind of parties, man.
Sexual activity.
Quincy Jones, Clyde Davis parties.
You having a party.
He showed it on. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube, but
Professor Ogilvy party.
It's when Kevin Hart was I guess he was like the host or something, and they was going. It was in the video talking about the P Diddy party, bro. Kevin Hart was the host, and he had a camera, and it was like a Edomite. It was an Edomite like circling the bed, man, and like I guess saying demonic prayers or whatever. And P Diddy, Kevin Hart was trying to sit down on the bed because he was hosting it. And P Diddy was like, "Oh no, man, don't sit on the bed. Don't sit on the bed."
Oh yeah, you talking about Usher?
Yeah, Usher was there too.
Yeah, wake up in the bed, my brother.
Yeah.
Usher's like, shut the fuck up, like,
Yeah.
Camera's rolling.
You know, he took him shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Diddy took you shopping, you were in there.
The city got the clothes we got from what's his name?
Uh-huh.
The Tommy machine.
Spoiling you, you know?
Yeah, like you spoiled a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, 50, what the fuck you say to me?
Paying your bills.
What do you say? That nigga said, yeah, because you wanted some new clothes.
They go fast.
But where you think Jake gets that influence from, man?
Right.
He learned from his handlers.
God damn.
You know? Moving.
Oh,
Him
going
motherfucker.
Just like a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, the incident is recorded in Numbers 25, 1 through 3. While Israel was staying in Shittim, the men began to indulge in sexual immorality with the Midianite woman, who invited them to the sacrifices to their gods. The people ate the sacrificial meal and bowed down before these gods. So Israel yoked themselves to Baal Peor, and the Lord's anger burned against them.
See that? And Jake got intrigued by it, you know?
Yeah. They not only do they do the sexual acts, but they, you know, they sacrifice babies and, you know, humans. They'll do shit like where they put a human body on a table, and I seen some shit where they like, I don't know if it was real or not, but they was like eating parts of it.
Yeah,
And a Roman view.
that's her name.
But imagine
Yeah.
the sexual immorality. They make you have sex with a dead body.
Yeah.
Some shit.
Shit, it was that one Edomite that was pimping out corpses, remember?
A fresh sacrificed body, now you gotta have sex with it.
Yeah, Erica Badu.
Oh, that's some dark shit.
Oh, she's walking naked?
Yeah, she's like in a pool of blood.
I think it was her sister.
Oh, it's her sister.
Mm.
Who was that?
It was her sister, Erica Badu.
Oh,
Yeah, man. These are the results of idolatry. So it's nothing wise about worshiping these idols. The Lord wanted to keep us separate and holy, man. All right, He doesn't care what these other nations do, but He wanted to keep you from that. All right, that's why the Lord's getting ready to set us up on that hill, so the nations can see. They can look in the mirror and see that their way is not prosperous. That's the reason why they die. The type of death that they do.
yep.
Okay.
I got the account. We kind of go real deep.
Go ahead.
Real quick. This is Numbers 25. I'll start at verse 3. It says, and Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord Yahweh was kindled against Israel. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord Yahweh may be turned away from Israel. He continues to say, and Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up amongst the congregation and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was, that's what we call it. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel, and those that died in the plague were 24,000.
It was like a plague, man.
24,000.
Yeah.
These stadiums, do they hold 24,000?
That's
Probably like
Yeah.
15, maybe like 15,000.
Stadiums do, but like arenas, like Staples are it's like 19, 20,000.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Just died off because, hey.
Got put to
from
flight.
that bullshit.
Bro, he said, put their heads.
Yeah,
What did he say?
against the sun.
Oh, yeah, just picture that.
Yeah.
So just imagine what the Lord did with Jacob's troubles.
Thank you. They-
That's gonna
that,
be what-
that was the point.